back to Class Culture. This is Art Smart, and we're going to talk about content and murals and the color red. So this topic is pretty straightforward. So let's get to it. I just like for you to come on in, sit back, relax, and get into the mood. Okay? Welcome back to Art Smart. I am your curator, DEIRDREHELENA. In these episodes, I simply demonstrate, discuss, and display design plus techniques regarding all visual art elements. I even show techniques that bring meaning and balance to your life. I talk about Art Smart and craft and creativity as well. Whatever your heart desires. And the topic is content. The subject matter, story, or information that the artwork tries to communicate. An idea conveyed through the artwork. Basically, it implies the subject matter, story, or information the artist is trying to communicate with you, the viewer. Okay, so let's take a peek on what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to mix it up. Usually I'll put the commercial in there, but I just wanted to say it. And why not, right? So if you have been having a good time watching the commercials, we are going to go over the visuals that you saw in the commercials. You can see the commercials individually on the Art Smart playlist. You can find that down below in the description box, and I'm going to talk about it here. So we're going to talk about the word content, content in art, figurative visual art. I hope you can hear me. Murals, okay? Do they know about innocence art? Symbolic meaning of a wheel, and the meaning of the color red in art. Okay, something's bothering my eyeball. Okay, and then we have 8 websites. So let's get started. It's a straightforward topic. I don't want to make it too boring, quoting fingers in the air, because there's nothing boring about art. But I want to make it interesting enough to get you to start to want to interpret content on your own. And this is going to be a very slow process over here in Art Smart, because I have over 300 topics. And this is only, oh, I didn't put the number, did I? Number 6. Okay, I think. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. So can you imagine by the time we get to 200? Let me make sure. I'm almost sure it's number 6. It's not showing because I'm live, probably, right? Of course. Well, why wouldn't it be showing? Let me refresh. It should show me live in my studio. Yeah, number 6, content. Okay, I didn't refresh it. Okay, so again, happy May. I'm going to do everything in my power, at least one a week, and maybe even more in the future. This is great for me because by the time I retire, my goodness, I hope, shout out to the day ones, my thousands, 2,000, 3,000s. Whenever you find me, I appreciate you. Please subscribe. You're going to have so much on this playlist. I just welcome you to sit back, join the replay crew, and purge, merge, and binge, because there's a lot of information. I'm going to try to keep these at least an hour long, because it all matters and it's all important. And that's the whole point of me doing these, to give myself a head start. So thank you very much. It's also a part of the research. I took these courses in high school. I took them in community college, and I also took them in college when I got my film degree. So I'm very versed in these topics. I've worked in art galleries. I represent artists all around the world. Okay, believe it or not. So anyway, and yes, I did an art show when I worked at a gallery in Las Vegas. The last art show I did and curated was 2016. And then I had to focus on graduating in 2017. And then I moved back to Northern California 2019. And then 2020, the pandemic hit. And here we are right now in real time, May 2, 2022. So give it a moment. It will get things back in order. I'm trying to visit one of the artists that I represent. He has all of his art in his home, but now he's ventured out because we are on the back end of the whole nation closing. And he's now starting to get out. So everything was in his home. He had no other choice, but now he's finding new places. So when I go visit them, I'm going to ask him permission and maybe we can do a show live in his home. But I've sold lots of his pieces. I sold pieces to people all over the world. And I even sold pieces that he wasn't ready to let go. You know, at first he was like, yeah, let's do this. And then when the pieces were sold, he was like, it's like his babies. He was like, oh, you know, it was painful. Just like when you send a child off to college and then they're gone, you know, and you're like, oh. And then speaking of college, my daughter is about to graduate. Yay. And I know how it's going to feel at the end of that journey too. Woo! It's going to be wonderful. I feel like I'm graduating because that's what your job is as a parent, to get them on the path of success, whatever their definition is. Son, excellent. He got his. He's there. This is her time. She's going to be 100% okay. All right. So yeah, it feels good. So maybe now that all of those things are behind me, and then another 4 to 5 years of working and then retiring. Woo, I can't wait. My channel is going to be like just ready. It's just going to be a big old orchard with lots of stuff on it. And I can pick and choose and do whatever I want with it. So yay. You'll have more of me. And I can't wait. So let's get on with the topic. It might seem dry, but it's not, because number one, you are a heart of gold. Thank you. Please subscribe if you're not already. Number two, you'll always have this treasure trove of gold over here in a playlist, so you can always come back to it. Number three, if this is your first time, look down below in the description box. You will see everything I just said and links to where you need to go. Okay, so let's do it. And I'm just going to take that away. All right. And welcome. Yes, I put a frame with nothing in there, because whatever the thing that's supposed to be in there or the thing you're looking, you should be able to describe the contents, and you're going to hear my description from my point of view and my emotional, let's just say, interaction with the thing or the piece of art or the meaning as it pertains to what we're looking at. Everybody's different. Some people might not like big, gigantic, ruby red classic. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, so yeah, it just depends on the person. Okay, so let's go to the word content. And thank you for being here. All right. I love these nice, quiet conversations. It is so Deirdre. Yes. Okay. And let me make sure I take me off, because you don't need to see me. Oh, I guess I could leave that up there. I'm always concerned it's covering things. Okay. So welcome to our international crew. I appreciate you.
Content.
Because I know you guys love when I supply this for you. Content is information produced and directed at an end user or audience in the sectors of publishing, art, and communication. So art is in there, okay? Content is delivered via different media, including the internet, Shout out to digital filmmaking. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to StreamYard. Okay, and all of my social media platforms over on my About page. Please subscribe there too. Okay, including the internet, cinema, television, radio, CD, book, magazine, your coloring books. I added that in. Physical art and live events. Okay?
Content.
Right now, I'm producing content for my page. Right? I'm stocking my page with content. YouTube rewards Deirdre by not only the algorithms, they make money. I put the ads in. That's some, let me write that down. That's one of my to do things for the month of May, just to make sure I'm doing those correctly. I think I am, but anyway, and something they can use to build business and to earn income for them as well. And then they reward us, the content creator, with I'm just going to call it a stipend, because for me that ain't income, but it is what it is, and I appreciate it. But yeah, it's you got to know business. If you're going to be a content creator, you should run your channel like a business. You really should. But anyway, I like what it says here as an adjective: in a state of peaceful happiness. That's the different, let's just say, pronunciation of content. Okay, instead of content. But we know this is the correct definition we were talking about over here. Media. Right? Okay. But I'm definitely in a state of peaceful happiness, content. And as far as content, we are talking about information produced and directed at an end user, the viewer, in the sectors of art, because I'm talking about art and Art Smart. So let's look at, the images. You're just going to see the word content, but you can get some visuals as well that can help you along your way. And here we're going to talk about the meaning of the wheel, which is also a circle, right? Sun, right? Warmth, right? Movement, action. Okay. So that's important. And this is more corporate art, but it's still meaningful. Okay. So moving right along. What's the next thing? Content in art. Now, these aren't meant to be correct sentences. They're just, you have to be very creative in how you're looking up information when you're doing your research. And I just find that, and I've been doing it for so long that I just find what I want. And I'm sharing that with you. So, and if you're an art student, welcome to my channel. I've gotten a couple communications from art students, and they love this. And they say, yay, it's back. Keep it going. So welcome back. Now, when I'm working on my 3,000. When I hit my 4,000 subscribers, all of these are going to go back on membership. Okay. And that's just a goal for me to grow my channel, to become a 5+ year content creator. It's going to take time, and I'm willing to take my time and grow my channel organically. I'm not here for a race. I'm not in a competition. You have to lay down the groundwork as a filmmaker, as a creative, as an artist, researcher, whatever you're doing, you should know the ins and the outs of what it is and be able to demonstrate that. So if this is a very helpful tool you found just by browsing, and oops, that's my chair. Okay, let me get organized here. And or YouTube, thank you very much, Google. If you're putting it out there and recommending it, I appreciate you as well. So content in a work of art refers to what is being depicted and might be helpful in deriving a basic meaning. It appears in the visual arts in several forms, all of which may be figurative, realistic, or abstract, distorted. So when you see the word abstract, I don't even like when people say that. Just say distorted or unnatural. Okay? Figurative, it's okay. But it basically, it's the realistic. Among them are portraits, landscape, life stills, genre arts, and narrative art. Okay? And then it goes on and on and on. What are the 5 contents of art? Traditional way of looking at art, namely the visual arts, suggests that there are 5 basic elements of an artwork: line, shape, color, texture, and space. Okay? Now we can keep going, but I'm going to end here. Subject matter is the literal visual image in a work. So you don't have the frame and it's empty. We're talking about what would go in there. It's the visual image, the thing, that car, table art up there, right? In a work, while content includes the cognitive, symbolic, and suggestive aspects of the image. And we're going to get into that a little bit. And then you're going to, after I end this video, you're going to do the rest and find a piece of art and be able to determine what those are and be able to communicate it, talk about it, to communicate with someone regarding it, talk about it, describe it, engage with it, express the emotional, let's just say, connection people get an emotional connection with a piece of art. There's a meaning, there's a purpose. There might even be a past. There might be archaeologists dig in dirt for decades until they find what they want. They don't even know what's there. Okay. It was said that, let me get it right. Leonardo da Vinci would look at a block of marble and know what was there. He just felt it was his job to uncover it, but he already knew it was there. So artists, we are a different breed. However, we should be able to communicate it with the layman of the layman. We should be able to say it to someone who just, quotey fingers, ain't into art. They should be able to go, oh, okay. So what's the next thing? Figurative visual art. Okay. Here we go. And then I'm going to look at some pictures in between these. Because I have one. Okay, after this one, we'll look at something. And then, did I tell you? 8 websites. Yes. Okay. What are we looking at? All right. Figurative art, I'm reading over here. Figurative art, sometimes written as that, describes artwork that is clearly derived from real object sources, and so is, by definition, representational. Sorry. I can't wear my glasses all day. I got to take them off. So, figurativism. Figurativism. I will never say that, yeah. Anyway, cave art, okay? Painting and sculpture can therefore be divided into the categories of figurative. You know what it is. And then sometimes it can be abstract, but we can figure out what it is. I mean, it might not look like an elephant, but you know it's an elephant. I mean, really. At the crux of it, figurative art is any art that depicts real life imagery clearly. It doesn't mean it's a Van Gogh or a digital picture from your cell phone. It just means you know what it is. It doesn't have to be something you like. You can figure out what it is. Get it? Figure. You can get in there and say, That's a cow, that's a shoe, that's a car, that's a skull. That's a good place to start as an art lover. And it's also very challenging in the abstract realm. Challenge yourself before you read the description. Or something, your mind might tell you what it is. Take your time. Haven't you seen people in a gallery or wherever outside looking at a mural, studying it, engaging, pausing, taking it in? See, that's another thing about art. You literally have to stand there and engage. People don't do that anymore. They want to walk. They're still moving. When I was in the gallery, I wouldn't even approach anyone that didn't take the time to stand there and move or sit in the chair to absorb it. They're not interested. Or I would stand there, and if they wouldn't stop moving, I would say hello. But if they kept moving, I would let them leave, because maybe something about it, it is not for them. And I'm not going to, I used to tell my boss, I am not going to stop anybody from walking away from a piece of art. But if someone walks up and says, can you tell me about this? What is that? You know, and I would say, do you have a moment? I can explain it to you. I'm not just a salesperson. I'm standing there too, because I love it. I literally feel the vibrations of it. After I read about a piece of art or the artist, I'm in there. I was going to say like something else, but I'm not. But yeah, it's clearly a real life imagery, clearly, most often recognizable depictions of the human or animal form, and I would say experience. And there are a range of subcategories what falls under the umbrella of figurative artwork. You do your thing. Renaissance, Baroque, realism, surrealism. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on, but we're not. But here also, realism art. Okay, it's clearly a lady with rings on her fingers. Okay, so the purposes of that is a figurative realist painter who what is figurative realism art? One who paints in a style in which the realistically depicted human figure is central and a principal focus of the work. Okay? So you will find out what you like. Give it 2 years. Visit. For instance, I know I hate graffiti, but I love murals. I think all graffiti artists, underground, whatever, should walk into a gallery until you find one that will hire you and make you the best artist you strive to be. And they have, and it's a new world, right? So yeah, but running around causing people to paint over their stuff because they don't want that ain't cool, and it's against the law. It's ridiculous, and it's usually for some other purpose other than art, right? So let's look up the word murals. You see them all the time around your city, on the highway, sometimes inside buildings, So here we go. A mural is any piece of graphic artwork that is painted or applied directly to a wall, ceiling, or other permanent substrate, meaning a thing, whether it's canvas or a block of wood. Mural techniques include frescoes, which go way back. That's why I wanted to mention the cave art. Okay, so this ain't new. Mosaic, graffiti, and that. Okay, so when I looked this up before, now it's been a minute. Let's look it up again. Let me copy. All right. Pronunciation. Oh, see, I hate it when they do that. Here it comes, y'all.
Marouflage.
Marouflage, girl. No, ma'am. It's like, what? I'm sorry. Give me a second. I got too much stuff open. Oh, never mind. This is something good. Okay, let me. This is something else. Sorry. Okay. Marouflage. It is like a painting on the wall. The Sistine Chapel. Okay. If you haven't been, go. It's at the Vatican. Now this is not down below, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Give me a second. Okay. Put it in here. Sistine Chapel. Oops. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'll probably. Oh, you were watching all along? Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh. Okay, we read all the definitions, right? No, you weren't watching all along. Okay, good. So we read the definition of mural. So now I'm going to show you that weird word, marouflage, Sistine Chapel. Okay. So here's the Sistine Chapel. Okay. So it's another form of mural, but it's inside and it's classical, and they don't hardly do that a lot anymore, but you can check it out. And yes, I've been there. And that's, if you've seen that, that is a piece of it. It's a part of it. Okay. And it's crazy that my mom, when we went, she wanted to do the lay down and look, but there was too many people and we just had to crook our head up. It was very uncomfortable. And then I asked her the next day, I said, do you want to go back? She was like, no, I'm good. Because we had a good time. She was like, it's okay. I was like, yeah, you probably have to come on a, off season when there's nobody around. We went like in the middle of summer. But yeah, as you can see it, it's right there in the middle. Marouflage, Sistine Chapel. So I'll copy that and I'll make it extra. How about that? All right. So what's the next thing while I do that? Paste. Do they know about Innocence art? Now, I wanted to give you an example of an artist. I'm not going to start really talking about artists, but I had to talk about this. I love that. This is, you only saw it in a still life on my little commercial. But yeah, I love this, and we'll explain it in a minute. Give me a second. I want to put extra. I want you to just enjoy. So I'll make this extra. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I should just put it at the top, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'm just going to put it at the top. Because I put so much in here, I was running out of space, you guys. Okay. Here we go. There we go. And we have a website down below where I'm going to explain it. But I also wanted to show you, because we talked about the different umbrellas. And it's also digital art is under there. Authentic digital art. And I think it's cool because of the GIFs. GIFs or GIFs. Loss of Innocence. That's the name. Do they know about innocence? That's the name of this piece. And then Childhood, Lost Innocence Art, and the Age of Innocence painting. So it's a thing. Okay. So I love it. It's a little girl holding a lamb. It is digital with a pink dress. They all represent innocence. Okay. So I just love that. All right. So what's the next thing? Symbolic meaning of the wheel. Or should we go here? Let's look at some visuals before we go. Okay. And then we'll talk about the thumbnail as well. Okay, so right up in the, you know, what do you call that? What do they call it here? They call it the logo here. You know, like if I put the duck up there, okay, it's the logo. Right up in the logo. I call these oddities. Shout out to Vlogtober instead of October, and Vlogmas instead of Christmas. Well, last year Vlogtober was about oddities, and I love oddities, and this is an oddity. Okay. Now, after this, we're going to talk about the symbolic meaning of the wheel. Obviously, it's the scorpion. Obviously, it's a shoe. Obviously, it has wheels on it. All represent movement, correct? It's an oddity. One thing, man-made, the shoe. Second thing, nature-made, the scorpion. And the wheels represent what they have in common. At least you can get down to the crux, as they said before, of the thing. Okay? Whether you like it or not, that's not the point. Some people would buy that for $10,000. You know, it all depends on you and your collection, right? So what's the next thing I wanted to share? And we're just keeping it simple. A year from now, it's going to be a whole different experience. So that's why I put the numbers in the titles, because you don't want to be on number 200 and you don't know what Deirdre is talking about. You're going to have to start at 01. Okay. You must. So this is what we have in the background. Let's discuss it. I know it's a double image, but you can't hear me if I take myself off the, you know, off the screen. So let me give me a second. Alrighty. So I take that away. At least you'll be able to walk in and see that oddity. And if somebody says, I'll give you $10 to talk about the content and what it means to you, at least you can say those couple of sentences instead of saying, I don't know, it means nothing, it's stupid, it's ugly, it's a dead animal. No, that's not art. That's not participating. That's like going to a basketball game expecting football. No, you got to get into the thing. You're in an art gallery to do art. And I just found something. Thank you, Jesus. I'm looking at something and I just found it. I was looking for it earlier today. Give me something. Ooh, when you're moving, child, things get lost. I was looking for my sugar container. There it is. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, it's like I knew I brought it. I know you're laughing at me. Okay, so it's a classic car, number one. It's ruby red, number two. It has wheels. It's refurbished. It's elegant. It's a status piece. It's expensive. It's rare. It's history. It's an invention. You know, we can go on and on and on. We're going to talk about the wheel a little later on, and we're going to talk about the color red. So you can bump it up, because he could have made it yellow. Sorry. And I love old nasty classic car event. If you go on like Twitter, Instagram, or just Google it, they happen. And I think I showed you guys. Did I show you guys? No, I didn't. I didn't show you. when I did my, now shout out to the future and beyond. We're in the present. When I did my walking at the beach short, and I knew it was down there, and I had a good time. I took a couple pictures. I think I did. If not, I'll put them over on Instagram. Yeah, real nice cars. Real nice people too. They have clubs as well. It's kind of cool. So we're going to talk about that a little later. So what else do I want to talk about? All righty. So is that it for now? I think so. I think because we're going to talk about. Oh, we talked about murals, did we? Okay, yeah. So let me show you this one. Oops. Sorry. All right. So I know you know what a mural is. This is not that artistic, but you know, it's there. It has a meaning. A child could appreciate this. An adult can appreciate this. The city council probably approved it. The artist got paid for it. It's not graffiti. It's not unwanted. It's a welcome sign. It's colorful. It's rainbow. You know, I can keep going and go. It's the state of New York. It's the city. It's the sun, the circle, the meaning of the circle. We're going to talk about it. The meaning of the sun rays, warm, welcome, city, skyline, all of that, and a bag of chips. And New York is, you know, it. What is that? A bull? I don't know. I was like, is it a bull? Is it a buffalo? Okay, but yeah, buffalo. It is, but it's in the color red. Okay, so there you go. Well, I guess buffalo were around before everybody came and killed them, and you know, interrupted the natural life of the indigenous people. So yeah, I guess so. But yeah, it's a buffalo. So, but it's also the color red. All right. And we're going to talk about both. And these others can wait. These last two can. I'll talk about the thumbnail last. All right. So yeah, I was staring. I was like, buffalo. It looked like a horn. I'm like, well, I guess so. I don't know. It's me, not you. So, all righty. Symbolic meaning of the wheel and the meaning of the color red in that order. Okay, here we go. And if I screwed it up, then no. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, here we go. So remember, the topic is content, and we discuss murals because there are murals in every city, okay, everywhere. And people walk right past them. I stop and I look at them. I appreciate them. Number one, it's outside, okay? You don't have to go to a gallery. Number two, someone took the time to do it. Number three, there's meaning there. And number four, it's sort of, it harkens back to old Egypt. Ancient Egypt, when you see the, let's just say, carvings, where those used to be painted, and over time the paint wore off. But when you go into the pyramids, the paint is still there, where it was protected from the elements. That's why I like it. It's a connection for me. It's the connection for me. So yeah, I appreciate that. I do. So the symbolic meaning of a wheel, the meaning of the wheel as a symbolic entity is similar to that of the circle, okay, with the additional quality of movement. Car, the little oddity, the shoe, the scorpion, they all move. The shoe you put on your foot, you move, you walk. The car, wheels go round and round. Okay, shout out to the little people. And it's also a symbol of the sun. So on that mural with buffalo, there was the sun and the ray and the half circle. Nice. Not the whole, they put in the half. The wheel's spokes are parallel to the rays of the sun. Okay, so it all has meaning. What is the spiritual meaning of a wheel? And they also talk about the book of Ezekiel. Okay, but it represents the universe. Okay, and the path we travel through this world. Well, we all know that all of those things have paths and journeys. Okay, and it also can mean the afterlife. It stands for the enduring connections between this world and the next, and the power of the above and below. Now, people look at people sometimes very strange. This is for me for later on, so here it comes. And when you're explaining a piece of art, they go, wow, but then they get to appreciate it as well. Things are not random. Okay, it is not random. It is artistic. It is purposeful. It's art. It's a mystery. It's a riddle sometimes. And what you see might be different than what I see, but at least I can convey. And then I'll stop after I explain and say, what do you see? And then I'll listen to them, and they'll be brave enough to say, I see a circle with 2 hooks on it. Yay. Does it have a meaning? I don't know. Well, stand there and engage, and let your people talk too much, y'all. Let your mind grab something, and you will feel it. You will feel when the meaning comes over you. Or when, throughout your day, when you're talking, walking, engaging, working, whatever, loving, living, raising children, shopping, when you come across something, you just get that, oh, it hit you. Like, I know what that is. Like my logo, 2 phases of the moon. And people go, oh, that's the H. I didn't know that was the H. Right? It has meaning. It has meaning. It has meaning to me. It has meaning to you after I explain it. It has meaning to other artists. It has meaning to people who love your art. It just has meaning. And if you can find whatever that meaning is to you, then they love to hear your meaning. Artists love to hear. It's like, oh, I never thought about that. That's wonderful. Well, that's the beauty of art. It has a billion meanings. Because if a billion people look at it, they'll find a billion different things to say if they engage properly. If they're just there to go and then walk past and don't, they're still walking. So I'm not going to say, I told my boss, I'm not, because they don't want to look at it. They're not engaging. They just walk past it. It is what it is. All right. Last but not least. And then we'll go right into the websites. All right, the meaning of the color red. Okay, so we have the car, right? One of the boldest colors in the spectrum. Red stands out in any work of art. So that person who worked on that classical car wanted it to stand out. Hence, it's used to signal danger or warning as well. Red is used to contrast with its surroundings, drawing the viewer's attention. Red is the color of stoplights, fire hydrants, and warning signs to get your attention, to draw you in. Okay? Meaning, pay attention. So red, the color of assertion, strength, romance, excitement. So the car, that would fit. Vitality, physical power, outgoing, ambitious, and impulsive. It is a color that flatters the skin. So if all else fails and you can't describe a piece of art, at least you can say, wow, physical power, strength. It stands out. that's bold, you know. So at least you can engage on that level. Okay. And I'm saving this for the next step in this journey. So when you go to images, obviously, you know what you're going to see. But you can also find images when you're doing your research and after this, and you take the time and find out what it means. You engage, and then you find the meaning and maybe the reason why, and maybe you'll hit the link and find out about the artist. That's what I would like for you to do. Okay? So definitely we'll go over more on colors. There is, did I put it on this? We already talked about colors. Do I have this in my Art Smart playlist? Let me find something else for you to look at. I'm looking for related. Oh, here's cave. Okay. Here's Egyptian. Okay, you look at that while I look at the playlist real fast. I'm almost sure I put when I talked about the meanings of colors on the playlist. If not, I will. Let me find it. Give me a second. Your mind needs time to appreciate and to learn and to absorb. So just deal with it. People glaze over things so fast. And it's like, oh, did you retain that? Because sometimes I have to go back and figure it out. Okay, no, I want that on here. Where did I see it last? I know it's on my production playlist. And I'm going to add it to Art Smart since we're talking about colors. See, it's the evolution for me of whatever you're working on. It's just, look, I wasn't thinking that it would all come together because, you know, you're kind of, I don't know. I was confident it would work, but now it's all coming together. It's like, oh, I'm glad I already did that. So and now it's on Art Smart. And it's titled Color, Emotion, Put Color on It, Color Chart, Class Culture, Sagacity Films, Black YouTube, Beef Sector. I don't know why I got Beef Sector in there, but I put it in there anyway. But anyway, I have to giggle. So yeah, that'll be down there below if you want to hit other colors. Okay. And also, depending on the artist and the purpose and the reason, I'm going to connect it. There is that's a buffalo, okay, or herd or some type of bull. Okay, buffaloes are bulls. But if you're an artist in 2022 and you want to harken back to cave dwellings and murals, then you would definitely use the color red. Okay, love, passion, intensity, energy, excitement, sexy, attention getting, all of that. Even the Egyptians knew what was up. Okay, so there you go. All right. Oops. It's not accidental. Never. All right. So we did that one. So now let's go into the websites. Now I did the right thing and brought one up first. And we'll talk about it. Okay. So while you're looking at that, I'll go get the other next. So just force yourself to think of 2 or 3 things when you engage with a piece of art. Number 1, color. 2, style. And I'm going to add a third one, the content. And I'm going to add a fourth one, the symbolic meaning of it. And you can do it all in your mind. You don't even have to talk to anybody. Just, just take your time with it and appreciate it. And if it makes you smile, then man, that's all I need. That's all I need. They've accomplished what they set out to do, and that's what they want. They really do. Okay. They want you to love it. Or if you're looking at something like, oh, and then you read it, and then I'll go to art shows where the artist is there, and then you go, wow. Wow. And then you'll walk around it and you go, wow. That's why I want to introduce you to one of my favorite artists that's still here on planet Earth, right? Works of art have subject, form, and content. And then I'm going to go right down to here, in the yellow. The differences in content were created by the differences in form, not the subject matter. Okay, I'm going to say it one more time. The differences in content, were created by the differences in the form, not the subject matter. They don't care if it's a horse. Okay, we all know that, right? Figurative, right? They were talking about this is a painting and this is a sculpture. At least you can get that far and smile and know you're good, and nobody's gonna make fun of you if you're struggling. The decisions you make regarding form, type of line and shape, selection of value and color, size of the work, type of balance, etc., shape the work's impact and meaning. Okay, you can touch the sculpture, you can place it, you can design, decorate it. The image you could put on a t-shirt, it can be in a frame. You know, you can mimic it in a mural, whereas sculpture is a thing you can touch. And this was a great website because it also has to do with spiritual elements. Okay, and I thought this was interesting. I'm not going to click it, spiritual warfare. So I will be coming back there. Okay. But here they're talking about subject, form, content, meaning the impact or meaning. And that's where I'm trying to get you to jump in that, jump through that hoop, because that's the next level in art, whether you are an artist or the viewer or a collector or visiting a museum goer, or you just appreciate it. You will find art on clothes as well, you know, so know what it is. And this is a great read, so I'll leave that to you. Okay, so next thing. Alrighty. I am not going to pronounce that. It is Italian. Okay. On the importance of content in art. Okay, so there's an artist. Content has to deal with the subject of an art piece, but not all pieces of art have a subject. So it's okay if you say it has absolutely no meaning. Yay, it's art. It's not a requirement. Don't you put on shoes, clothes, a hat, and people say, oh, why'd you choose that one? I don't know. I just put it on. It's the same thing. There are no rules. It's art. And it doesn't have to have a subject. You know, you could look at the horse and say, what is it doing? It's just looking at me. You know, it has its head up. It's looking in the sky. We're not looking at that. But that was the beauty of any artist. I was going to say Picasso, but any artist, because the horse's head is not just the way, the natural form. He lifted it up. So that's engagement. That's something. It's different. And you might ask, why did they choose that? So here is an artist creating art. So this is a good read, and it's also, you know, you might want to buy. I'm just saying. When you hit art, and they talk about the different types of subjects, it's very interesting. Okay, history terms, prehistoric, back to the cave art. And we just finished this. I didn't read the whole thing. What is our history in the concept of style in art? And remember that fancy word? I just call it ceiling art. You know, it's marouflage. I mean, it's on the ceiling. Bite me. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't get hooked on the fancy words, because then people will lose interest and then they'll think you're trying to talk down to them. Or people will get that attitude like, "Oh, you're in here. You don't know what that means." No, I never did. I think that's why I did very well at selling it, because I could determine if people really wanted to. Half of the people who do speak about art in those terms don't even need my help, right? So textile. Okay, here we go. Copy. So I'm going to make sure you're looking at that while I add these other ones. Yeah, I'm taking my time in real time. Welcome if you're hanging in with me in real time, because you'll get to build up to where we're going. Okay. So that happens anywhere in any type of study. You have to start at the beginning. All right. And then you won't feel like I'm talking over your head or anything like that. And it's never meant to be. But if look, by the time I get to the 300th one, we're going to be doing something else. So these will always live here. I'm just saying, I won't be repeating what I had said. No, it's all there. Which is, I could talk art all day. So, which is the whole goal, right? All right. Oops. All right. So, and I'm going to leave the last two because I have a lot of stuff open. All right. Do I have the right thing down there? Yes. And thank you for all the lovely Cash Apps. You guys just don't know that. Let me come in and talk to you. You just don't know what that means to me. I appreciate you so much. We content creators work very hard to put good educational information, and we demonstrate it with receipts and give you links and the guide to get to where we, when we Google to get to the subject matter at hand. And this is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of time, and we do appreciate your Cash Apps. So I appreciate them. Thank you. Okay. In the future, you'll find I'll have my super chats on and my memberships, but right now it's Cash App. And I also have PayPal. It's Queen Charming. So it's down below in the description there. Let me make sure it is. Yeah, it's down there. Okay. All right. Next. So I appreciate you. So here is a great website, and it's a .org. Okay. And they also have a Stitch Club. Shout out to Art and Craft Therapy. And online courses. So the art of writing about art. This is important because in order to write about art, they have to write about the thing and the content. Okay. So they're giving the artist a guideline. So this is also interesting for you, the viewer, and the artist. They say be the storyteller, be natural, avoid jargon, like I was just saying. Write as yourself, be concise, get to the point, edit, use headings, use lists, keep it active. What do you want the reader to do next? Okay, so this is a great link. All right, so what's the next thing? I think I have something double up here. Do I have something double? One. I think I have it double, you guys. Give me a second. Yeah, okay. It is double. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. I want to make sure. I don't want to screw this up. I like taking my time. Patience is a virtue. So I got that one. Got that one. What was the one before that? I think I'm missing something, guys. Give me a second. Okay, no. I got it right. Woo. All right. So the next two is the same website, but two different. We're going to focus on two different things. All right. And depending on what I bring up first, I'll make sure it's in that order. Okay, here we go. Abstract versus figurative art. Yep, it's in the right order. Okay. All right, so let's read. And I'm not going to read all of that. Here is what I like. They give the definition. They give this is art, theartstory.org. So we talked about how what we're looking at. We talked about the content and the meaning. We talked about symbols. We gave you a website prior to this where the artist or the viewer can go in and see all the elements and to use to describe the thing. Now, here is an example, okay, of definitions, examples, the early 20th century, during abstract expressionism, after abstract expressionism. So, and then they're going to start talking about different artists. Don't be afraid if you don't know one artist on planet Earth. But Leonardo is not the only important artist on planet Earth. Just like I tell people, Steven Spielberg is one human being. There are millions of directors in film. You know, I don't know why people can't take the leap to learn somebody new. But here they're comparing. Okay, and this is what I love about this website. And they talk about movements and artists and timelines. Okay, so this is so valuable. You don't even know. I'm going to be back here lots and lots of time. Now, same website. Okay, but when you hit the movements, look, 155 total. And then they go alphabetical. Why are they telling on Gigi? Look, it's alphabetical. Pop, surrealism. I mean, so here are all the fancy words. Before you go to a museum, look it up and then have this in your phone. And then you can also punch one of these. Periods. Countries. Genres. Okay. So this is crazy. That's what we do over here. We do crazy things like educate. Okay. And demonstrate. Oh my. Call the police. Right? You are in danger. It's red. Okay. Yeah, you're in danger of learning something new. Over here in class culture. Welcome. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Okay. So here we go. Last 2 or 3 websites. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's scary over here. So, not really. It's just people are weird. Okay, edit. And keep yourself busy doing what you want. You won't hear a thing. You won't be bothered. You won't even see them coming and going. And that's the point in living your real and best life. It's about you. That's the end of that bulletin. And it's about us. Here is Hearts of Gold. All right. And it's about me, because that's the name of my channel. I'm just, you know, I'm doing this in real time. Just getting organized. Here we go. There we go. All right. Why not? Real time, baby. That's what we do here. All right. So, what is the next thing? Look in your local town. Find out what's going on in your neck of the woods. Find out what artist was born in your town. Let's go back to Buffalo. Google it. What famous artist was born in Buffalo? For instance, I love architect. Julia Morgan was born here. Almost every corner has a historical Julia Morgan building. When I worked for the Julia Morgan Theater in Berkeley, she built that. She designed it. She created it. She was in charge of it. She was one of my heroes. She was a part of San Francisco history. She designed Hearst Castle. Mr. Hearst owned a famous newspaper. He's infamous, actually. He was involved in Hollywood. You know, it's find out what happened in your neck of the woods, because I know what's happening over here. But here also, if you are or know someone that's interested in doing murals, or maybe out there breaking the law, you know, painting up things and going places where people don't want you, tell them, hey, you can get paid for that if you come and figure out what your, you know, desire is, and contact your local art commissions. And here in San Francisco, they have one. So this is down below. But everyone I know, our hearts are all over the world. So find out in your neck of the woods. Maybe you have a young artist. Maybe you're the artist. Maybe you are 70 years old and want to go back to community college for 2 years, get your art degree, and you want to bring a piece of art. You found out on the corner that Rosa Parks lived there. This is just an example. Please and thank you. Propose. Put your bid in. And you can hire other artists to help you. Just because you can't pull it off doesn't mean it. Go find an artist and you all go together. It can be a whole, you know, group of people. So here we have a whole, I don't know, it's like a community of artists, and we all support each other and we all encourage it. We would rather have this than people spray painting stuff. Okay. It's a planning department. Temporary murals are less than 7 days. There are guidelines. There's a contact number. So it's up to you. Street Smarts program. They also have a poster. I remember when the census was going on, they hired artists to create posters for the census, and they showcase them and displayed them. And that helps the artists, you guys, because they can put it on t-shirts. They can get into galleries. They can do shows. It's amazing what the city will do to help an artist, because we don't want starving artists. We want working artists. And you never know, that'll open up more opportunities here. Find opportunities, experience art, and the roles and impact. So here it says you want to create a mural in San Francisco. Okay. But you got to do it in your town. Or if you have no resources, you contact them wherever you are and ask them for help. How about that? So, you know, having said all that and coming across as, you know, you lawbreakers, well, I'm guiding them to go somewhere they need to be. Because one of my favorite artists, you guys, is Jean-Michel Basquiat. Billions and billions of dollars. Unfortunately, lost his life. The Carters, buttonZ and Jay-Z, have purchased a lot of his work, and he started out as a graphic artist. He's a very interesting person. I did one of my essays on him in college, and I've always been fascinated with him. When he was alive, I was following him. in newspapers, right? He dated Madonna. I think he dated a couple other people before they were big, in the New York area. And fascinating read, very troubled person. Andy Warhol and him were good friends. So yeah, obviously, if you didn't even know all of that, you can at least say that's a skull. The color red is where the crown is. And it is graffiti-esque. Okay, at least. And it's still figurative. That's if you didn't know anything about him, you could at least say that. How does it make you feel? It makes me feel confused. And it's okay to say that. And that's exactly what he wanted to depict. Confusion in his mind. But I love it. And we all have skulls, by the way. I mean, trust me when I say you can have a million conversations and debates about a piece of art. The great thing about his art is that he was here on planet Earth and we all know what it was. Now, take that and contrast it. Because that was very colorful, very expressive, very doom. Okay? Then you can take something sweet and soft and symbolic. Whereas that, the skull, symbolized death. This symbolizes life later on in life. You can tell this is a senior citizen because of her gray hair with her sun hat on and the circular symbols and images on top of her crown, as in life, even though it is a black and white. I could talk art all day, y'all. Don't even make me. Don't make me do it. With her beautiful jacket on. Don't you love that safety pin there? Right? Now, some people might say, oh, well, she doesn't have a button. It's a safety pin. It's an old black lady. She got wrinkles and she got a straw hat on. Well, it's up to the person. And that's okay. After I said what I said, and then I can say, what do you see? And they can say that. That's okay. Some people might just say it's a black and white sketch. It just depends. She looks just like someone I knew. That's me. That's why I love this piece of art. I love it. But to contrast it, it's amazing. And then, even though this is not in my, it wasn't in my commercial, it doesn't matter. This is one of my favorite pieces of art. Now, it's up to you. I'm just telling you what it means to me. That, to me, that I can feel that kiss. I can feel that embrace. I can feel that kiss. The color red. We're not going to talk about the artist. We'll get there. The color red is placed in the perfect places, right? For perfect reasons. For me. So it's up to you. But it's all about, when the first time I ever saw that, I was like, well, that's a kiss. And that's the name of it, actually. It's beautiful, right? Now, some people might find and see other things. It doesn't matter. It's okay, right? You can put in that empty box there, right? In that empty space, in that empty frame, whatever. You can put your words in there and it would still be art. It's up to you. Collectors collect things. They collect oddities. They collect things for different reasons. It is what it is. All right, so what's next? Well, I got two more. All righty. So art collecting. Okay. So this is a great website because art collecting information, gallery guides, you're welcome. Museums, nonprofits, art services, artist websites, you're welcome. Art fairs, you're welcome. Okay. San Francisco art galleries. So when you're in town, let me know, and or not, but make sure you support a museum or a gallery near you And wherever I go, I always find something. I don't even care if I spend 30 minutes in there. You know, we got our phone so we can, you know, get it. But here's a list of San Francisco galleries. We'll get there. Trust me, we'll get there. And it's better to wait because they're opening back up. Or some of these, unfortunately, won't be coming back because of the pandemic. Okay, so this is excellent. And it's always going to be here. So this is where we're going to end because I just think it's brilliant. And I'm glad I was able to bring it to you because I remember even when I was attending school, there was a debate, is digital art art? And it is. It's a new world. And there she is. Okay. Ooh. So, Osinachi is the artist. Osinachi. In this cruel, cruel world, innocence is easily hurt. Who can lift it up? Love it. Feed it until it grows into its full potential, right? Well, a mother can. I know I did with my daughter. That's why I wanted to bring this to you. I think it's beautiful. It's meaningful. It's purposeful. I know what it means. She's not innocent, but I helped grow her and I helped protect her and I held her in my arms. Pink is beautiful. It's the color of, for me, it's also another color for mother because of our womb and our flesh. Often the color pink is associated with that. I am an African-American woman. My daughter's an African-American and we love animals as well. But lambs are also a symbol of innocence. And she used to love to take care of animals. When she was a little girl in her science class, her teacher trusted her so much at the age of 10, her teacher would let her bring the animals home on the weekends. And I allowed her whole room to be like a whole zoo. It's wonderful. That's the best thing on planet Earth. And she plans to do the same thing with her son when he gets older. You know, first they had a dog. They had to get rid of it. He grew up with the cats because the cats were like, we were here first. So, you know, he don't even see them no more. But now she's like, I can't wait till he gets that age where we can get him like a gerbil and a rabbit and things like that. I said, absolutely. So when I saw this in real time right now, meant everything to me because they are still my innocent children. And they don't know their experience from my point of view. They know I'm their mommy. They know I raised them. However, from my point of view, when I saw that picture, it meant everything to me. So it can be something that personal, just like that car, right? Maybe the person that restored it grew up in that era, or their dad had one, or their mom had one, or it's passed down through the family. And it is what it is. Or it's a collector. I think Jay Leno collects, you know, classical cars just to keep them on planet Earth. You know, keep them, you know, I love, what is that show I like to watch? Oh my God. Now I'm drawing a blank. Pickers. Isn't that the name of it? Oh, I love watching them roll around and find stuff. What's the name of it? American Pickers. That is one of my favorite shows. Antique road shows. Any show that has to do with art. I love that stuff. I get to calm down. I get to vegetate. I get to learn things. I write things down. I discover things. You find out what it's worth. Have you ever been to an auction? Some people go to auctions to buy jewelry, art, cars, oddities, paintings, sculpture, what clothes, you name it. Shoes, you know, you name it. A lot of artists, interior designers, creators, filmmakers, crafters, sewers go to thrift stores, and we go to auctions as well, because you'll find these things there. You know, authentic, vintage items that aren't being made anymore, that's where you find them, you know. But thank you. We did it. I try to keep these in an hour. It's impossible, but it's as close as I can get it. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. On the way out, please subscribe and hit all the reminder buttons on all the shows, and or just go right to the playlist. I think I put the playlist down below. Sometimes it fits, sometimes it doesn't. And please make sure you look at all the shows and catch up, no matter when you come across me, Gigi. I appreciate you so much. We did it. Woo! You don't even know. When I click off here, you know, I take my little break and then I go back and read or go someplace else where I need to do my studying and research. And I enjoy that just as much as I do making these videos. I, in real life, would be doing this anyway. That's why it's important for me to bring it here, just to share that little bit of me and help you along the way too. These are very, even though we make our videos 18 and above, these are very responsible videos. I do my best not to use any type of off-color language, you know, pun intended. But share these with teachers, students, artists, family, you know, are homebound. You know, I also do like a word of worship. Anybody who needs something different, something new, something educational, something that where you can feel good about sharing and telling them about this part of my page. I really appreciate that so much. You don't even know. So thank you. I'll see you in the next episode or on another playlist near you. Have a good day. Bye.